tranquil corner of the world, where the lush hillsides rolled gently under a bright azure sky, lived Niulang, a humble cowherd. Each day began with the soft glow of dawn, casting golden hues across the landscape. Niulang would rise early, tending to his cattle with tender care. Companions in solitude, their gentle lowing harmonizing with the rustling leaves and distant melodies of nature. Despite the beauty surrounding him, the vibrant wildflowers that danced in the breeze, and the soothing sounds of flowing rivers, there lingered an ache within Niulang's heart. He often gazed longingly at the horizon, where majestic mountains met the clouds, wishing for something more than this simple life among fields and flocks. His days were filled with labor, yet they echoed with an emptiness that left him yearning. He guided his cattle up the hillside each afternoon. He would often pause and close his eyes. The gentle caress of wind upon his skin felt like whispers from a world unseen. It was as if nature herself wished to share secrets of love and companionship that eluded him. He wondered what it would be like to share these moments with someone special, a kindred spirit, who could appreciate both his quiet existence and the wonders of creation around them. Yet, life continued its unyielding pace. It changed with every passing moon, but Niulang remained alone in his small cottage nestled against the rolling hills. Evenings were spent under a tapestry of stars that twinkled brightly above him, reminders of dreams yet to unfold. Beknownst to him, high above in a realm beyond human reach, lived Zhinu, a radiant weaver girl known for her extraordinary skill in crafting garments spun from clouds and adorned with starlight. Each thread she wove was imbued with magic. Her creations brought joy to celestial beings throughout her heavenly home. Amidst her duties surrounded by other ethereal beings, Zhinu too felt an emptiness gnawing at her heart. She worked tirelessly on her loom crafted from silver beams of light. She often found herself lost in thought. She gazed down towards earth, through openings woven into clouds, wondering about lives unfolding below hers. Zhinu longed for something beyond her responsibilities. She dreamt of companionship, a bond deeper than mere duty or expectation. Her heart yearned for connection that transcended realms, a wish carried on whispers borne by soft celestial winds. Days flowed into weeks and nights stretched into months. Lang and Zhinu remained unaware that their fates were destined to intertwine like threads on her loom, drawing them toward an encounter that would change everything forever. One serene afternoon, Niulang stood by the gentle flow of the river that cradled his village. A sun hung low in the sky, casting a warm golden hue over the world. He gazed at his reflection dancing on the water's surface. A sense of longing washed over him. His heart was heavy with thoughts of Zhinu, the enchanting weaver girl whose laughter echoed in his dreams. Beknownst to him, it was precisely this day that destiny would intertwine their paths once more. The air shimmered around him, as if charged with magic and possibility. A soft rustle in the nearby thicket caught his attention. He turned to see a figure emerge from behind the trees, a vision so radiant that it felt as though time itself had paused. Zhinu stepped gracefully into view, her flowing hair glistening like strands of starlight under the sun's embrace. He wore a simple yet elegant garment spun from clouds, embodying both beauty and ethereality. That moment, it seemed as though nature held its breath. Even the river hushed its murmurs to witness this forbidden meeting. Niulang's heart raced as he took a step closer. Her eyes met the world around them, faded away into mere whispers of color and sound. Her gaze lay in understanding that transcended words. They were two souls drawn together by an unbreakable bond forged beyond earthly limitations. Time passed slowly as they shared smiles and glances filled with silent promises of love and devotion. However, reality loomed just beyond their blissful sanctuary. They knew their connection was fraught with peril due to Zhinu's mother, the stern Queen Mother of Heaven who guarded her daughter fiercely against such unions. Dusk began to paint the sky in shades of lavender and pink. Shadows started creeping across their hidden grove. Sudden chill swept through Niulang's spirit. He realized they could not linger much longer without risking discovery. But fate had woven them together for a reason. With hearts entwined in reckless abandon, they exchanged stories, tales woven from dreams and desires, which spoke volumes about their hopes for freedom and companionship amidst adversity. Yet unbeknownst to them, high above in her celestial palace, the Queen Mother sensed an imbalance in the heavenly realms. She felt her daughter's joy mingling with danger. Anger flared within her at this mortal who dared steal away Zhinu's heart. That fateful moment, when night began to drape its veil across them like a shroud. Hesitated while looking deep into Niulang's eyes, fear danced there alongside love as uncertainty grew thick between them like fog rolling down from distant mountains. That her mother's voice boomed through realms unseen, a decree echoing against clouds like thunderclaps declaring their love forbidden, with urgency filling every fiber of Niulang's being. He grasped Zhinu's hands tightly. Every heartbeat resonated with desperation and yearning for time unmeasured. They shared one last glance infused with both joy and sorrow, before fate intervened cruelly. Time slipped through their fingers like grains of sand falling silently into eternity. An instant marked by agony yet splendor alike. Zhinu vanished into thin air, spirited back to her mother's realm, where harsh realities awaited them both. Left alone beneath a canopy embroidered with stars glimmering brightly above him, as if mocking his loneliness, stood Niulang, heart shattered, but not defeated by despair alone. Darkness enveloped him wholly, the absence of light reflecting how lost he felt without her presence. He vowed silently amidst tears cascading freely down his cheeks. He would find a way back to Zhinu, no matter what trials lay ahead. Hope flickered deep within his soul like embers awaiting rekindling, a testament that true love knows no boundaries nor dares cower before fate itself. Thus began his quest towards healing, a journey painted upon landscapes vast while stitched together by threads spun from passion undying, till dawn broke anew, in the aftermath of their joyous meeting. A world felt different for both Niulang and Zhinu. Each moment spent together had woven a bond more profound than they could have ever imagined. Yet, in the shadows loomed the inevitable separation that would soon unfold. Fateful day, as dawn broke over the hills, Niulang awoke with an inexplicable heaviness in his heart. The vibrant colors of morning painted a beautiful scene outside his window, but inside him stirred a lingering anxiety. If nature itself sensed the impending heartache and whispered warnings through the rustling leaves. Meanwhile, high above in her heavenly abode, Zhinu busied herself at her loom, but her thoughts wandered to Niulang. A laughter they shared echoed in her mind, and each thread she wove seemed to tremble with longing. However, the Queen Mother of Heaven noticed her daughter's distracted demeanor. Her narrowed eyes, she approached Zhinu, sensing something amiss. The Queen Mother's voice rang out with authority, as she expressed disapproval of Zhinu's infatuation with a mere cowherd. Her words were sharp like a cold wind cutting through warmth. They pierced deep into Zhinu's heart. A sternness in her mother's tone left no room for argument, or plea. Zhinu's love was forbidden. Days turned to weeks since their first encounter, and each passing moment brought only despair to Niulang's soul. He would wander aimlessly across fields where memories lingered, their laughter intertwined with melodies of nature, as he searched for signs that their love could endure, despite their vastly different worlds. Proved unyielding when one starry evening, as clouds rolled in from distant mountains cloaking the sky in darkness, Zhinu was summoned back to heaven by her mother. Heavy sorrow settled upon them both as they stood at the edge of separation, Niulang grasping desperately for any semblance of hope, while Zhinu fought against tears threatening to spill forth. She ascended into the clouds surrounded by ethereal beings who paid no heed to human hearts below them. Filled the air, a haunting reminder that true love faced insurmountable barriers, placed by those who did not understand its power. Alone again on Earth, beneath an endless canopy of stars glimmering above like scattered diamonds on black velvet, fabric stretched across infinity, Niulang felt lost without his beloved weaver girl beside him. Heartache throbbed painfully within him as he gazed skyward, wishing desperately upon falling stars for another chance to bridge this unfathomable divide that separated them eternally. Determined not to let go easily nor surrender entirely, to despair, the humble cowherd resolved within himself that he would fight against destiny itself if necessary. There had to be some way to reach his beloved, to unravel fate's cruel weaving, and find a path back into each other's arms once more. And so began Niulang's quest, seeking wisdom from ancient sages hidden among misty mountains, or conversing with magical creatures residing deep within enchanted forests, all who might hold keys capable of unlocking paths connecting realms. separated by time and space. Each visit unveiled new knowledge. Tales unfolded about celestial bridges, formed by magpies flying across night skies during Kixi Festival, a gathering celebrated only once a year where lovers could reunite under magical circumstances. And mortal comprehension. With every sunset painting hues upon twilight skies, Niulang grew resolute in knowing that this festival offered hope shimmering brightly like lanterns lighting darkened streets. It beckoned him toward destiny, drawing nearer until love, prevailed against all odds and dreams transformed into reality once again, as the sun dipped below the horizon, raping the world in twilight hues. Niulang found himself standing at the edge of a vast field. The air was thick with anticipation. It was the 7th day of the 7th month, Kixi Festival, a night filled with magic and longing. A night he would once again seek his beloved Zhinu beneath a sky alight with stars. A warmth of hope surged through his veins as he remembered that fateful moment when magpies gathered to form a bridge across the skies. It was on this very night that their love could transcend boundaries, allowing them to be together, if only for a fleeting moment. Niulang's heart raced as he gazed upwards into the heavens, where dark clouds parted to reveal glimmers of starlight. He took a deep breath, inhaling the sweet scent of blooming wildflowers surrounding him, each petal whispering secrets of love and devotion. With every step toward the riverbank, he felt an electric pull guiding him closer to destiny. He approached the water's edge. Niulang heard faint chirps echoing in harmony like soft chimes carried by gentle breezes. It caught his eye. Flocks of magpies appeared from all directions, their wings dazzling against the backdrop of dusk. They danced gracefully through the air, before settling upon one another, a cascading wave forming a bridge that arched magnificently across space and time. Niulang's heart soared at this sight, the promise held within their fluttering forms wrapped around him like an embrace. With unwavering determination fueled by love's radiant fire, he stepped onto this bridge woven from whispers and dreams. The moment his foot touched its surface, an enchanting glow enveloped him, a sensation akin to being cradled in warmth amidst cool evening air. He walked forward cautiously yet eagerly. Colors swirled around him, vibrant reds and blues woven together like threads on Zhinu's loom, each step carrying him closer to her side. A realm far above, where clouds floated lazily among constellations spun from ancient tales, lived Zhinu, her heart echoed with yearning just as strongly as Niulang's own. Poised at the brink of their ethereal meeting place, adorned in garments shimmering with celestial light, the very fabric whispered stories created from stardust and moonlight woven expressions of her undying affection for Niulang. She spotted him crossing over on wings crafted by fate itself. Her heart leaped within her chest. Their eyes met across starry skies. Recognition ignited sparks so bright, they illuminated even shadowed corners where doubt dared linger. Time paused momentarily. They were suspended between realms, a dream vividly unfolding amid reality's constraints. With every hurried step taken upon that magical bridge, formed by devoted magpies, it felt as if their souls entwined anew. Though distance stretched between them moments ago, it now melted away under starlit splendor, finally reaching one another. After what seemed like eternity spent apart, Niulang grasped Zhinu close against him, their embrace radiating warmth amid cool night air, as if igniting fires long thought extinguished. A shared laughter laced with tears brimming forth from hearts, filled both, joyfully renewed, yet sorrowfully aware that dawn would claim them once more too soon. Each precious second together became sacred, a tapestry rich, with memories freshly stitched into existence atop dreams once forgotten beneath earthly struggles faced daily apart. / and time slipped through their fingers gently, but relentlessly. Each passing heartbeat echoed louder than words spoken aloud between two lovers reunited under heaven's watchful gaze. / in those moments bathed in moonlight, they spoke not just through voices, but rather through everything left unsaid too. Promises exchanged without fear nor hesitation. Hopes alive intertwined alongside fears laid bare, all embracing vulnerability, shared amid celestial beauty surrounding them. / and yet quietly loomed awareness like shadows encroaching upon daylight. They were bound by forces beyond their control. Just laws dictated distance while hearts yearned ever closer still. As dawn threatened softly creeping towards them, The reality weighed heavy against fragile bliss experienced tonight. /n, but amidst uncertainty, breathed resilience forged. From love unyielding, together they made vows to cherish every heartbeat shared until next festival arrived again, when bridges reformed anew over luminous rivers flowing freely above !n/, and their pact resonated deep within souls entwined. Eternally, despite circumstances beyond reckoning, we'll find our way back. Voices reverberated softly against silken threads, woven tight amongst stars shining overhead. /n, and thus they clung fiercely, until sunlight began breaking gently over edges where realms converged once more, time slipping away, insidiously reminding them both how fleeting happiness often seemed before rekindling hope eternal glowing. Brightly like embers waiting patiently revived a new-come evening light ! /n, with reluctant hearts beating steadily beneath starry canopy as dawn broke, gradually dimming shadows cast upon tender moments fleetingly cherished, they lingered. Longer still savoring last touches, exchanged lingering soft, warm caresses, suffused distinctly tinged bittersweetness mingling joyously too. /n, finally parting ways reluctantly, yet resolutely knowing true love transcended barriers erected. Ruly throughout existence, but promised always to return for future reunions, painted vividly within tapestry, crafted beautifully spanning infinite horizons, endlessly awaiting discovery again someday soon. As the 7th day of the 7th month approached, Niulang's heart swelled with anticipation and trepidation. The Kixi festival was a sacred time, whispered about among villagers and spoken of in reverent tones by elders. That magpies would gather in flocks to form an enchanting bridge across the heavens, allowing lovers separated by fate to reunite once more under the starry sky. Those final days leading up to the festival, Niulang devoted himself entirely to preparing for this fleeting moment. Each sunrise brought renewed hope, as he tended to his cattle with gentle hands while his thoughts danced around visions of Zhinu. The way her laughter echoed like chimes on a soft breeze, how her eyes sparkled like distant stars, they fueled his determination and love. Eve of Kixi Festival, as twilight descended upon his tranquil home, Niulang set forth towards a hill that overlooked the landscape stretching out beneath him. Here, surrounded by nature's embrace, he found solace the vibrant colors of dusk, painting a vivid backdrop for what lay ahead. With each passing hour, he could feel an electric energy coursing through the air, a promise waiting to be fulfilled. Night fell and stars began to twinkle against darkened skies like scattered gems on velvet fabric. Niulang raised his gaze upwards in search of signs from above. He whispered silent prayers, carried away by gentle winds, a plea for guidance toward Zhinu's heart, and a longing for their love to defy all obstacles placed before them. He saw them, the magpies. They appeared like shadows dancing through the night sky. Their melodious calls created a chorus that resonated deep within him. By one, they flew together in perfect harmony, until they formed an intricate archway, a celestial bridge woven from feathers imbued with enchantment. With breathless excitement igniting every fiber of his being, Niulang rushed forward, as hope surged within him like wildfire. His feet barely touched the ground as he climbed towards where ethereal light spilled forth from beyond. It shimmered invitingly just over the horizon, an otherworldly glow guiding him closer to what was most precious in life, Zhinu. On crossing onto the majestic bridge, formed by countless magpies flapping their wings with fervor, it felt almost surreal. Every heartbeat echoed louder than thunder amid silence, enveloping everything else around him. Each step led him deeper into realms unknown, yet familiar, a space filled with dreams waiting patiently beneath starlit skies. Then, he saw her. Zhinu emerged at last from celestial mists, swirling softly around her figure like whispers echoing across eternity itself. They're bathed in moonlight, radiant as ever with flowing garments, reflecting hues reminiscent of clouds kissed by dawn's first light. Their eyes locked across the expanse, separating them momentarily, a connection so profound it transcended words or distance itself. That instant, when time felt suspended between two worlds, the yearning built between their hearts shattered all barriers, inhibiting love's passage through cosmic realms. Niulang approached cautiously yet filled with reckless abandon, each stride driven not just by desire, but also pure devotion thrumming alive within him anew, after endless nights spent dreaming alone without her presence beside him any longer. \n, when they finally met beneath glittering constellations weaving patterns above them, an embrace unfolded amidst starlight, cascading downwards like blessings poured from heaven itself. \n, every second stretched into eternity. Laughter mingled effortlessly alongside tears, reflecting joy mixed sweetly upon sorrow, all born out of sacrifices made along paths paved thick with longing. \n, time continued its relentless march onward even amidst bliss, shared between two souls reunited briefly under auspices untouched by earthly struggles surrounding them both. \n, the hours slipped away too quickly, soon enough, as the stars began to fade, and the first light of dawn painted the sky in soft pastels. Niulang stood at the edge of their ethereal meeting place. A weight of time pressed heavily upon him. Their precious moments together were slipping away like grains of sand through his fingers. Each second felt both exhilarating and agonizing as he held Zhinu close, their hearts beating in harmony, yet burdened by the knowledge that this reunion was fleeting. The night had been a whirlwind of laughter and whispered promises, filled with stories woven from dreams and desires that danced on the edges of reality. They had shared their hopes for a future where love knew no boundaries, a future where they could be together without fear or separation. But now, as dawn approached with its gentle urgency, shadows crept closer, whispering reminders of the inevitable parting. Those fragile moments before daylight broke fully upon them. Niulang gazed deeply into Zhinu's eyes, those pools reflecting starlight and longing. He felt an overwhelming surge of emotions swell within him, a mix of joy for having held her in his arms again, and sorrow for what lay ahead. With every heartbeat echoing louder than words ever could, he vowed silently to never let go of this love. Inu, too, sensed the approaching dawn. He clung tightly to Niulang, feeling the warmth radiating from his presence, the comfort that anchored her soul amidst chaos beyond comprehension. The fabric of her celestial garments shimmered softly in response to her heart's turbulence. They were threads spun from stardust, infused with magic, but even magic could not halt time's relentless march toward daybreak. Sunlight began kissing the horizon, golden rays breaking through darkness. They exchanged one final embrace, their bodies intertwining like vines wrapped around sturdy trees standing tall against storms unrelenting. That moment suspended between night and day, they shared soft caresses tinged with bittersweetness, a memory forged anew amidst lingering warmth left behind by moonlight's embrace. With reluctant hearts brimming with unspoken words, the couple pulled back just enough to gaze into each other's faces once more. Memories flooding back, filled with laughter shared beneath starry skies, mingled exquisitely alongside dreams. Rafted while apart, it was then they made solemn promises spoken softly yet fervently. "We'll return for each other," resonated fiercely within them as dawn continued to rise around them, transforming twilight hues into brilliant light, illuminating paths ahead, filled rich potential waiting patiently, unfolding once more when next festival arrived. But as reality encroached, gently pulling them apart, Niulang felt an urgent need to capture this moment, forever etched onto his soul, a reminder that true love transcended barriers placed cruelly throughout existence, meant merely to keep lovers separated, and so he took a step back to imprint every detail vividly within memory. Inu's radiant smile glowing against golden morning glow, how her hair floated delicately like wisps carried lightly on warm breezes, those enchanting eyes shining bright, illuminating darkest corners where doubt dared linger. Time continued its relentless pace, urging them onward despite all resistance. Met a long journey traveled thus far, it beckoned towards futures intertwined yet uncertain. The last echoes lingered between breaths taken while they released fingers, tracing invisible threads binding hearts eternally, even amid distance placed cruelly between realms invisible. And with one final glance over shoulders bathed beautifully by dawn's tender touch, two souls destined forever, parted but never broken, turned towards separate paths. Hope soared brighter than any star above, lighting ways forward toward reunions promised under moonlit heavens, stretching endlessly, awaiting discovery when magpies would gather again. Bridges anew across sky, painting limitless horizons reaching beyond realms unseen. With hearts entwined eternally, despite circumstances faced daily apart, they ventured forth knowing true love would always find a way back home. Eventually, even if only once every year, beneath celestial watchful gaze during Kixi Festival, bringing forth joyous echoes heard loudest amidst silent whispers shared. as the Kixi festival unfolded. A night sky sparkled with stars, casting a soft glow over the world below. Niulang stood at the edge of his village, where vast fields of wildflowers danced gently in the cool breeze. His heart raced with anticipation as he gazed upward, searching for signs of what was to come. The air was alive with magic, whispering promises that filled him with hope. Niulang remembered tales whispered among villagers about this sacred night, how magpies would gather in great flocks to form a bridge across the heavens. It was said that on this night, lovers separated by fate could reunite under a blanket of twinkling stars. With each beat of his heart, he felt the pull toward Zhinu grow stronger. Their love had endured trials that would have shattered lesser bonds. Twilight deepened into night. Niulang made his way to a hill overlooking the river, a place where he and Zhinu had once shared stolen moments together, before they were torn apart by circumstances beyond their control. He closed his eyes and took a deep breath, inhaling the sweet scent of blooming flowers around him, while savoring memories of her laughter ringing like chimes through his soul. With every passing moment, Niulang's excitement swelled as darkness enveloped him completely. Stars began to emerge one by one, until they filled the skies above each point of light, becoming a reminder that love transcended all boundaries. Came the unmistakable sound, a chorus of melodic calls filling the air, like music woven from dreams. Magpies appeared in flurries. Their wings fluttered gracefully against starlit backdrops as they began to form an archway, a magnificent bridge glowing brightly before him. Heart pounding fiercely within his chest, Niulang stepped forward onto this enchanting pathway, crafted from feathers imbued with ethereal magic. Each stride brought him closer to destiny. The sensation beneath his feet felt alive. It pulsed with energy and warmth like a heartbeat echoing through realms unseen, yet deeply felt within every fiber of his being. He crossed further onto this celestial bridge, formed by devoted birds flying high above Earth's embrace. He could almost feel Zhinu drawing nearer too. There she was, emerging from swirling mists of silver light, adorned in garments shimmering brighter than any star, radiant, yet serene amidst cosmic wonders unfolding around them both. Their eyes locked instantly across an expanse that, insurmountable. Time stood still while emotions swirled chaotically, love reigniting after nights spent longing for one another anew. Niulang rushed forward eagerly, every step now fueled not only by desire but also pure devotion, thrumming alive within him again after endless days, without her presence beside him. They finally embraced beneath constellations weaving stories overhead. They found solace amid joys, laced tenderly alongside bittersweet sorrow, intertwined amongst fleeting moments shared tonight. Time slipped away too quickly, though the dance between joy and heartache mingling delicately even amidst bliss experienced here, beneath heaven's watchful gaze. They held tightly onto each other, knowing well that dawn would soon break upon them. Signaling separation loomed ahead once more. Yet despite uncertainty weighing heavily upon fragile happiness fleetingly cherished, they exchanged vows quietly rooted deep inside souls entwined forever. We'll find our way back, resonated softly against silken threads woven tight amongst stars shining vibrantly overhead. In those precious moments bathed softly in moonlight, they spoke not just through voices, but rather shared everything left unsaid too. Promises exchanged freely without fear nor hesitation, while hopes intertwined alongside fears laid bare, all-embracing vulnerability, wrapped warmly around celestial beauty surrounding them tonight, as dawn threatened, gently creeping towards. And the reality weighed heavy against their hearts, laden richly with tenderness experienced vividly tonight, even amidst shadows encroaching upon daylight. Yet true love remained resilient, forged ever strong despite trials placed cruelly. Throughout existence itself, it promised always to return when future festivals arrived again, painting vivid horizons awaiting discovery someday soon. As dawn's first light began to grace the horizon, casting soft pastels across the sky, Niulang stood at the edge of their ethereal meeting place. A weight of time hung heavily upon him. Their precious moments together were slipping away like grains of sand through his fingers. Each second felt both exhilarating and agonizing as he held Zhinu close, their hearts beating in harmony, yet burdened by the knowledge that this reunion was fleeting. The night had been a whirlwind of laughter and whispered promises, filled with stories woven from dreams and desires that danced on the edges of reality. Had hopes for a future where love knew no boundaries, a future where they could be together without fear or separation. But now, as dawn approached with its gentle urgency, shadows crept closer, whispering reminders of the inevitable parting. Those fragile moments before daylight broke fully upon them. Niulang gazed deeply into Zhinu's eyes pools, reflecting starlight and longing. Overwhelming surge of emotions swelled within him, a mix of joy for having held her in his arms again, and sorrow for what lay ahead. With every heartbeat echoing louder than words ever could, he vowed silently to never let go of this love. He sensed the approaching dawn, too. He clung tightly to Niulang, feeling warmth radiating from his presence, the comfort that anchored her soul amidst chaos beyond comprehension. The fabric of her celestial garments shimmered softly in response to her heart's turbulence. Threads spun from stardust infused with magic, but even magic could not halt time's relentless march toward daybreak. Sunlight began kissing the horizon, golden rays breaking through darkness. They exchanged one final embrace, their bodies intertwining like vines wrapped around sturdy trees standing tall against storms unrelenting. That moment suspended between night and day, they shared soft caresses tinged with bittersweetness, a memory forged anew amidst lingering warmth left behind by moonlight's embrace. With reluctant hearts brimming with unspoken words, the couple pulled back just enough to gaze into each other's faces once more. Memories flooding back filled with laughter shared beneath starry skies, mingled exquisitely alongside dreams. Rafted well apart, it was then they made solemn promises spoken softly yet fervently. "We'll return for each other," resonated fiercely within them as dawn continued to rise around them, transforming twilight hues into brilliant light, illuminating paths ahead, filled rich potential waiting patiently, unfolding once more when next festival arrived. But as reality encroached, gently pulling them apart, Niulang felt an urgent need to capture this moment, forever etched onto his soul, a reminder that true love transcended barriers placed cruelly throughout existence, meant merely to keep lovers separated, and so he took a step back to imprint every detail vividly within memory. Niu's radiant smile glowing against golden morning glow, how her hair floated delicately like wisps carried lightly on warm breezes, those enchanting eyes shining bright, illuminating darkest corners where doubt dared linger. Time continued its relentless pace, urging them onward despite all resistance. Met a long journey traveled thus far, it beckoned towards futures intertwined yet uncertain. The last echoes lingered between breaths taken while they released fingers, reluctantly tracing invisible threads binding hearts, eternally even amid distance placed cruelly between realms invisible. With one final glance over shoulders bathed beautifully by dawn's tender touch, two souls destined forever parted. Never broken turned toward separate paths. Hope soared brighter than any star above, lighting ways forward toward reunions promised under moonlit heavens, stretching endlessly, awaiting discovery when magpies would gather again, weaving ridges anew across sky, painting limitless horizons reaching beyond realms unseen. With hearts entwined eternally, despite circumstances faced daily apart, they ventured forth knowing true love would always find a way back home. Eventually, even if only once every year, beneath celestial watchful gaze during Kixi festival, bringing forth joyous echoes heard loudest amidst silent whispers shared.